Live. I am live. It's time to water the garden. I came out here the other day and that heat got on these things so bad they were laying all on the ground. It looked crazy. I was like, damn, this Georgia heat ain't no good. So it's interesting because the ground is pretty wet. We've had some like showers, you know, here and there. Okay, so I've had a couple of days. I gotta pick some. I gotta pick some tomatoes. I have a feeling I got a worm over there on that one tree. It's looking kind of funny. The other ones look pretty good. The Roma tomatoes are coming in. I got butternut squashes popping up everywhere. There go one right there. I gotta figure out what's up with this zucchini plant. It's big as hell. Look at the ladybug. Got this zucchini plant. These two big ass zucchini plants. Where the zucchini at? I'm finna go and investigate. Cause you ain't finna take up no garden space and you ain't producing. You got to go. I got how many zucchini plants? I think I got three. Let's count the butternut squash. That's one. Then I'm finna water. It don't really need watering, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Get how you say get ahead while I can. I gotta repick the basil. Let me pick the stems off. But okay, so I want to talk about Candace. Candace Owens. Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. Candace Owens. That's my girl. Let me tell y'all, I didn't like Candace for a long time. I couldn't stand Candace. But then she turned and she went a different direction. Because when she was anti-black, she don't talk about black folks at all right now. Think about it. She doesn't. She don't have nothing to say about black folks. I think she realized the error of her ways. I believe when she got fired, she thought she was one of the boys, right? And it's not hard to do because we got white folks that come around us and somehow they start thinking that they actually black and they can speak on black things. So it doesn't surprise me that you have black folk who can get around white people and think and start getting into the delusion that they're the same and they can speak on white people. So it doesn't surprise me. Ooh wee. Okay, let me get my gloves. Okay, see this zucchini. I see how many zucchini plants and I don't see no damn zucchini. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers gonna have to go. Okay, I'm trying to debate what do I want to do. Because I see some places where I need to pull some weeds, but at the same time I need to okay, I'm gonna do a compromise. I'm gonna take 20 minutes and pull some weeds. I'm gonna take 20 minutes and pull some weeds and then I'll go ahead and start I'll go ahead and start okay, how many butternut squash? I see one, two, I took three in the other day. I see one, how many more? Two, three. I got three butternut squash on their way. Four. I see a fourth one. Oh, there's a fifth one over there in the grass. They come all out the garden, honey. They're coming all out the garden. But these weeds, they drive me crazy. I can't take it. I'm gonna let me get my gloves. So I'm out here. It's like 8 in the morning. I got up at 7. But you gotta get up early. Let me see here. I thought about digging the other day, but I was like, nah, I did not feel like digging. Okay, I got one glove because I got my other hand busy anyway. Got one glove, so I'm gonna weed with one glove. But yeah, man, Candace Owens, she got sued by Macron. So I'm gonna take a couple of minutes and do some weeding. Because the weeds just get on my nerves. I get tired of them. They start taking up air, space, and sunlight. Okay, my hair. My hair be all over the place. We got butternut there. This big motherfucker right here. He's got to come up. Okay, throw that in there. Now, where in the hell? I see this big ass zucchini plant. Ain't no zucchini in it. Come on, bruh. You gotta do something. So I pick this up and put it back in. No, ain't no room in there. Ain't no room. Ain't no room there. Okay, let me see if I can grab a couple of more weeds. Put this box over here. And this is my gourd. Let me dig a little more dirt for it. The root system support. Okay, buddy. You're gonna have to go up here on the trellis. Come on. You're gonna get on the trellis. Get on the trellis. Get started. Come on now. You're not long enough. Oh, you sticking to me. That's the problem. Don't stick to me, stick to the trellis. Okay, so it's growing. It's a vining plant. It need a little help. That's my what you call it? That's my bell pepper right there. Oh, I didn't see the butternut squash behind it. Okay. So yeah, so Macron and his husband decided they were gonna sue Candace Owens for telling everybody that he's a man. They're quite upset about it. I think Kate Middleton, if I'm not mistaken, must have got caught smirking or laughing or something when she was in the presence of Macron and his wife or something like that. Because I've been seeing some jokes go around, and that shit is infuriating them. Yeah, you a joke. That shit's crazy. What do you think people are gonna say? You basically molested a dude when he was a kid as his damn teacher. I mean, would you want to applause? What do you think people are gonna say? What do you think people are gonna say? You want a Nobel Prize? I mean, what do you expect from people? That's some weird shit you're doing. People do weird shit and then they don't understand the consequences of doing weird shit. Okay, these weeds are so funny because they're so interwoven. They're smart. Weeds get interwoven into your plants. They hide, make it harder for you to get them out. But I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll get you. I think I do weeding for my own sanity. My neighbor Harry, he used to just free garden. He didn't give a fuck. He just let shit grow up. He didn't even give a damn. He didn't even give two fucks. But I got to do some kind of stuff. Oh, the peppers are growing. They're getting taller. That's good. That's excellent. Okay. Oh, it's butternut squash everywhere. I need to come out here and pick these tomatoes too. I got a couple of things I need to do. If it stays cool, I'll get it done. I need to replant them beans. Them beans do not grow well directly in the ground. They need a colony. I've been saying that. I learned it. Beans need colony. And these tomatoes look terrible. I mean, not tomatoes. These strawberries look terrible. I mean, this sun is burning their asses up. I almost want to chop and cut them. I almost and clean the beds out. I almost want to do that because they go back so fast. I might. I don't know. Let me sit and cut these damn weeds for a minute. I mean, pull these weeds down for a minute. Let me do that. And we'll come back. So my elderberry bush, that shit got raided. No elderberries for you, Meg, because the birds ate it. But anyway, I'm just trying to watch how it's going to play out as far as, uh, Candace Owens. Because I think what happened initially was she started, was it Steven Crowder? I think it was Steven Crowder or something like that. He's the one who was abusive to his white wife. She was pregnant, and there's a video, and she wanted to go somewhere. She wanted to go somewhere, and he told her no, and he was talking to her ugly. Like he was God, like he was all powerful and shit. And that didn't go well. You know what I mean? That did not play well on video. Move this out the way. And what Candace did, I think she kind of crossed the line because what she did is she brought her black femaleness. Because she married a white dude, but he's British. And he got money and he's spoiled. He probably like deals with her black womanhood, her having an opinion, and her being a black woman. It's probably endearing to him. It's probably something he gets a kick out of, right? But white men generally, I don't think they get a kick out of opinionated women in general. You know, I don't think they have much appreciation for that. And so when she did that expose, where she took the video of that man in his home being the white man he was, telling her basically, you ain't got no power, you ain't going nowhere, I control you, bitch. I said, you not going nowhere, right? And Candace felt, justified. I don't think she realized, like, nah, in white community, that's how they do. They be bullying their women. I don't think, and I think Candace felt justified, like, I'm gonna expose this. And I think most white men was like, well, that's how I treat my wife. What the fuck is the problem, Candace? She's like, that's wrong. And they're like, that's how it is. And I think she hit a little note right there. I think she hit a little note when she did that. She showed the video of him, and of course, all the white women and women in general was like, yeah, Candace, expose how they treat us. White man was like, see, bitch, see, you done went too far. You can talk shit about the Negroes and talk shit about so and so, but don't start criticizing how us white men run our households. Don't start that shit. Because she was questioning white male patriarchy while kind of, putting down feminism, which is interesting. She got some book out. I'm not reading it because I already know it's going to piss me off, and I'll probably quit reading the book because I like to read for pleasure. I don't like to read to get mad. So I'm gonna skip that book. Plus, I know the book gonna be some bullshit. Cause Candace, for the most part, is a boss bitch. I don't care what come out of her mouth. She's on that what's all that right wing shit. So she got to be anti-feminist, but in actuality, she's not an anti-feminist. Not by a long shot. She is not an anti-feminist. She just got to say that shit. But if you look at her life, she's living in a lap of luxury. She's able to get on that channel and that show because I'm sure she's got a whole bunch of uh, nannies and shit. Cooks. She got cooks, nannies, housekeepers. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Okay. Okay. So I'm just getting out all the big shit I can see. Let me switch up on this side. Mm-mm-mm. So there's a butternut squash in there, butternut squash over there. They're all over the place. All right. So I got some of the weeds out. Just getting a little bit of Give a little breathing room to my babies. Need to go on that side now. I gotta actually finish right here because this here ain't gonna work. I don't like. I gotta get back into my music too. I used to come out here and listen to my music. I see a lot of people are gardening. I think that's kind of cool. Shout out to Creative Solutions. She got her garden going. I um I saw she had a bunch of watermelon, I think, and cucumber. Them things is gonna be all on the ground, child. They gonna crawl out. That's what they do. Mine are crawling out the garden. They will not be contained. That's the one thing about them vine and plants. They will not be contained. So yeah. So it's kind of funny what I was gonna say about the Candace Owens thing because you got a lot of people that like, see, you got what you deserve, bitch. I didn't like you anyway. You know, the haters is they thinking she's about to lose everything. I was like, you guys, come on. And I think that I don't I guess if you don't deal with, legal stuff, you don't have to worry about it. You don't need to know. And I'm no lawyer, but I studied for the LSAT and I have been actively engaged in a lot of legal stuff. Okay. I'm interested in law to certain extents. I don't completely like law because, ooh, I think lawyers are the scum of the earth, but we need them. They get shit moving, or they keep shit from moving. One of the two. And in the work I do, I've had a lot of engagement with a lot of lawyers, a lot of attorneys, um, a lot of lawsuits. So I'm used to reading lawsuits, reading legislation, understanding what it is. And it's so crazy because sometimes you think and assume, let me keep moving. I stopped what I was doing. A lot of times I'm upside down. So if I sound a little stressed, it's because I'm upside down. There you go. Got the big boy out. Y'all look at all them weeds I got so far. But a lot of people don't need to know how law works, but law just doesn't work the way people think. And I can tell kind of when people are engaging in law and they don't know much about it. People make what you call it newbie mistakes and newbie assumptions. People somehow, this is one of the things I notice that people do. They think when you file a lawsuit that's powerful. Okay. And I'm gonna say this especially with black people. Black people really think it's powerful. I'm filing a lawsuit. I'm gonna get you. Now, first and foremost, let me dispel some myths about law. Law is nothing to play with. Because first of all, any lawyer worth their salt, they don't take on stupid cases, okay? And people always tell me they're gonna drop a lawsuit and all that kind of shit. First and foremost, you have to do what you call a retainer fee, and that's if an attorney is willing to take you on as a client. There are attorneys that say, "I'm not doing that. That's frivolous," because it can put their if an attorney gets a reputation for taking on stupid and baseless lawsuits that have no merit, right? They can lose their bar. They can lose their own law license. Okay, so good attorneys don't take on stupid lawsuits. That's the first thing. And a lot of stuff that people want to do is useless. People think that lawsuits are something you toss as a weapon. It's not. Lawsuits have two main functions: to force people or institutions to take an action or not take an action. And then the other thing is to seek damages and correction. Okay. Those are the two main things that people sue for: the changes, forced action, or restitution, um, or a combination. And that's what you're looking for. At the end of the day, what do you want to gain from a lawsuit? because actually you have lots of things you do before you get to a lawsuit. A lawsuit is not your first course of action. So people kill me. Well, you'll see, or you hear from my lawyer. I'm going to sue you. That's not the first course of action. That's not how that works. Lawyers don't just take on stupid lawsuits. That just doesn't work like that. Okay, so first of all, you have to have standing, and you have to have an actual, really, really legitimate, solid case. And you have to be seeking an outcome which the lawyer can actually measure. Okay, so second thing, I see folks, black folks particularly do, or even people in general, I'm going to sue you. First of all, you don't tell nobody. If you're going to sue a motherfucker, you don't tell them shit. That's the wrong move. You don't tell them a damn thing. There are no warnings. When I sued people, do you think I've sued several people? Do you think I told them I'm gonna sue you? No. When you get served, then you find out. You get them a heads up or a chance to course correct. When you told them to course correct and they didn't. And there's a lot of moves that you make before you get to the lawsuit. You have to basically do a form of mediation where you've warned that person, you've given them ample opportunity to change their course, and you can document, listen, document. You can document that they refused every option that you gave them. Then you can file a lawsuit. That means you got to produce a series of letters written by attorneys where you have clearly requested a change in action. And this person is documented as not changing course of action. Then now you got some kind of basis. And you got to make sure that you the person who is the right person to sue. Sometimes people want to sue for shit that ain't your business. It's literally not your business. I have, it looks to me, based on what I've seen, there's 3 lawsuits pending. It's not against me. See, you can't sue me. I may be the cause of why you want to sue me, but you can sue the state of Georgia. You can't sue me. You can't sue Ms. May May. I asked and I put a plan together for the state of Georgia to take down them Confederate flags. And together, the governor's office, we got a way to do that. We took them down. I had to do sit-ins for I don't know how many years, but we got them down. And now the Sons of the Confederacy are pissed. They are pissed. They have done everything they could to try to get them flags back up. And the governor and the attorney general said, nah, we're not putting them Confederate flags back up. And so they mad. They can't sue me. They can't sue me, so they have to sue the state of Georgia. And so they have other folks on the lawsuit, not me, but I'm the one that's the cause, but I'm not the one who is the one they would have standing against. They have standing on the state of Georgia. So you have to know who you are suing and why. Why are they suing the state of Georgia? Because even though I'm the cause of the so-called problem, the state took it upon themselves to listen to my call for action, and they are the ones who have the power to take away or put back those Confederate flags. So that's a lawsuit that is basically about a demand for action, not restitution. The Sons of the Confederacy, they want them Confederate flags back up. And so I'm working on bringing together a short campaign and awareness and media blitz to show support for those flags being down. I'm going to counter, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to counter the rhetoric. I'm going to push back on that. In order for us to keep the same course that we're on, I need to make sure that I am publicly supportive and the community, oh gosh, I got these leaves all in my face, that the community is publicly supportive of the course of action that's supporting. Basically, we got to put support behind those who are doing what we prefer. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm working on. I got what 15, less than 15 days to get together um, some show of support. Oh God, is that a weed? It looks so much like a fucking. Oh my God, that shit's gotten too high. I'm trying to see is there anywhere else because I'm done. I'm done. I'm done weeding. I just see one place where there's a big weed, and I guess I'll get that one. Everything else is kind of small. I'm scared to step over there because I got those pepper plants. Okay, let me just do it. Okay, don't step on nobody, May. Okay, let's pull this up. Get off of him. I keep telling y'all, look at this. He back again. Get your ass off of him. Trying to steal your light, baby. Trying to steal your shine. Look at my pepper plants. They're coming up. Okay. Then I got this. Y'all see this? You would think that was a plant, right? It ain't. That's a big ass weed. You got to come up, bruh. Come on out. Get up out you. All right. All right. I got all the big. Now look at my pepper plant. Look how big it is. Now where my damn bell peppers? Where my damn bell peppers? All right. And all of these are peppers right here. All of these are peppers. Butternut squashes everywhere. Let me look at my tomato plants closely. I think there's a worm. This one, is there a worm? Is there a worm? This shit just looks so ate up. Is there a worm at work? Well, I'm looking. This is the only one that looks like it might have something going on. The rest of them look pretty decent. Hmm. Got a lot of tomatoes, little ones. Megan Merkel. Megan Merkel. She had a recipe that I want to use. She did this thing where she put pasta. She put pasta in a Oh wow, I love that. All these tomatoes, they're doing pretty good. They're everywhere. I'm seeing them on a lot of branches, and I haven't used any fertilizers. It's looking good. Even tomatoes down here. There's a butternut squash. These motherfuckers coming all out the garden. I'm growing pretty good. It's going pretty good. All right, let's see how the beans going. Got beans. Got beans. I gotta come pull beans again. Got beans. Okay. You finally latched on. Well, that's good for you. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refresh the beans by putting new bean plants in. Oh, something was moving. I was about to jump out my fucking skin. All right, so we got beans rolling. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is fresh. Okay, there's a little colony of beans. It's beans. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the beans I have that's halfway. Ooh, look at that bad boy. You got to come up out of there, bruh. Look at that. You thought you was gonna hang? Shit. You going to the recycle bin. All right, so I just finished my weeding. Now it's time for watering. Now it's time for watering. So I got peppers. I tried to grow peppers right here, but I keep stepping on them. This was a bad place to start. This is why I enter the garden sometimes. Not the best place. Hmm. Oh, damn. I let this one die on the vine. Let me pull that off. I let it die on the vine. I got two of it. I got to make sure I come out every day and get what's right. All right, so I got beans to harvest, and I got tomatoes to harvest. Tomatoes are looking pretty decent. They're looking pretty decent. As long as them worms stay away, you're going to be all right. I'm debating on whether I want to clean out these strawberry bands. They just look terrible. It just seems like, should I do it? Should I cut the strawberries down? I can't go on looks though. So I'm all about aesthetics sometimes, and that's not necessarily what it's about. All right, let's see what's going on in the compost bin. Ooh, it's funkified. Hmm. Mm. Let me get to watering. I'm putting off the most important thing. I done weed it, and that's enough. So I let weeds dry. Let them dry out. Ooh wee. Look at my damn cilantro. This shit. Ooh wee. Everything it took over. Okay, so at least what we'll do is we'll seed the. I'll get the seeds out of the cilantro. We'll do that after I water. Get the cilantro seeds, let them dry, pop them, and replant. That's what we'll do. This water is, I mean, this soil is really well watered. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, my barrel is full. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know it's early in the morning. I can get a lot done. I might go dig up them beans and put them in the ground so I can continue this bean thing. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, back to the whole law thing. You know, you don't tell people you're gonna sue them. I'm so peaceful in the garden. That's why I stopped talking. I'll be like, ooh, it's so I'm listening to the birds chirping and shit. It is so peaceful back here. And I have some, that's why I got certain colors out here because I wanted a bright, vibrant garden. I wanted it like butterflies. I wanted, to have a lot of garden art. But I don't want any garden art that's like, just too much. I don't want a junkyard. So I tried to be intentional with placements and stuff. I want some banana trees, and I have an area over here that is absolutely nothing there. So I've been trying to figure out what can I do with this whole area. I got all this land, and I ain't got shit over here. Starting from these trees all the way over. I got a whole one. Well, I got a whole 1/4 of my yard. That's what I'm saying. I got this in the middle part, and then over there, I started up on the hill. I started, using more of the area near the fence. That's where the garlic and the cantaloupe and the honeydew are. And I started using more like, it's yard, so like you can use all parts of it. And so that's what I was thinking about. Um, and these right here get on my nerves because these motherfuckers were supposed to be high. They were supposed to be at this point. They were supposed to be super high. These were supposed to be lined like, it's like a wall. That's what they were supposed to. These motherfuckers stayed short, like some kind of dwarf plant. I don't know what that's about. And I have too much heart to pull them up. But these was in my vision. I was supposed to have 10 feet tall, a wall of bushes. That's what I had designed. I thought I designed, but apparently I picked the wrong kind of. I think it's called a fiscus. It's fucking Christmas tree. I got 5 fucking Christmas trees. This is not the tall spear-like plant that I thought I planted. So here we are. It's gonna grow slow. I ain't never seen them grow this goddamn slow. I don't. Yeah, they don't even like. The landscapers don't chop or cut them. This is a fucking Christmas tree. So I got 5 fucking Christmas trees. That was not what I intended. These are supposed to be tall spikes that would divide the yard, right? But it's kind of good because if it actually stood up, it's 10 feet tall. It would block the light from the garden. You see, God works in amazing ways. God knew what He was doing when He gave me them little Christmas trees. He said, "May, if these are tall, if they 10 feet tall." 15 feet tall, they're gonna block the sun and your garden's gonna die. You see, I trust God. I always trust God. But y'all know what I want to talk about? I don't really want to, nah, I don't want to talk about that right now. I'll talk about that another time. But I do want to talk about preparing for older age or for sudden tragedy. When not tragedy like death, but tragedy like if you get into some kind of, you know, accident or situation. It's definitely worth thinking about because a lot of people they don't have a plan for you know if something were to happen to them, if something was to befall them, like you get into a car accident, you can't walk anymore. you know a lot of people don't think about that. Nobody wants to think about it, but boy, when that shit happens. Now I don't have that situation. I'm doing elder care right now, so I'm a caretaker. And I was doing this for my neighbor Harry when he ended up in the rehabilitation center. He got very depressed, so I would go over there and sit with him and stuff at the rehabilitation center. And I swear to God, it's not until you get sick or something happens to you that you find out who people really are, for good and bad. You will find that the people you thought you could depend on and be family, and friends, they're too busy. It's the same thing when you go to jail. I ain't talking about myself because I ain't had no experience with that as far as no long term stay. But yeah, when people go to jail, go to prison, all them folks they thought cared so much, shit, you find out, baby. People like, I'm working. That's the first thing. That's the first thing folks say. I'm working. I can't come. Everybody working all of a sudden when you're sick. Everybody got so much to do. They so damn busy. It's just something to think about. Who is your team? Who is your team for real? And like I said, you can't know. You can't know who your team is until you actually find yourself in said situation. But it's important to think about. You better have some people. That's all I can tell you. You better invest in some young people. You better have some good relationships and some people you done did real good in life. That's all I can tell you. Because, baby, lots of people around when it's the sunshine. And that's the truth. A lot of people are around when the sun is shining. But when the wind start blowing and the storm clouds gather, there are people who will find themselves completely alone and isolated. It's very human beings are very very complicated, very complicated, very, very complicated. And I think that's why I like doing what you call shadow work. I have chosen not to be afraid of myself or anything that I discover in myself. We all assume, oh, I know myself. No, you don't know yourself. You don't know yourself until the moment. And I love this about Islam. Islam talks about um, you have every moment in this life you're walking through the world. You always have one foot in the dunya, which is this material world, and you have one foot in heaven, which is Jannah. Jannah and the dunya. One foot is in heaven and one foot is in hell. And these are states of mind, not literal. And it's true. At any moment, you can choose to be the angel or be the demon. And I think a lot of people don't walk around understanding that moment by moment you're making choices. And I'm not talking about big, strict, this is what everybody does. I'm talking about your inner consciousness of your compass about right and wrong. I think that's what led me to physical thoughts and metaphysical study was this idea of the shadow self. This is the hidden self, the self that you don't want to discover. A lot of people hide their shadow self. It's always protection of the ego. It's always, and that's what the motivation of most people is. And I don't know if that has something to do with like lack of self-esteem. It's hard to tell. Or is it just a natural state to always try to protect the ego? I do everything I can to not protect. Well, I have did a lot of work to make sure I protected my ego. That's partly why I wanted to be a highly educated woman because I felt like I have to prove I'm smart. See, that's the ego. Inside, somehow, that's a value I have. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm educated. That's a high value to me. I was taught that. And so I had to protect my ego by being able to say, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've crossed that road. I've got proof and evidence that I'm smart. See, that's protection of the ego. So now that's not an insecurity of mine. I really don't have an insecurity. I choose to. And you got people who do have multiple whatever and studied whatever, and they still have insecurity. I don't. I feel like I'm actually satisfied. I've convinced myself. But that's part of the ego, right? You're trying to assign meaning to shit. It's good, it's bad, it's favorable, it's not favorable. That's ego, you know. So we all operate out of ego. We wouldn't be normal. We wouldn't be here to survive if we didn't have ego. But the question is the balance there? Is your ego making you do shit that don't make sense? Is your ego riding your soul? Is it the thing that motivates you? And that's the only thing. You have to just keep your ego in check because it can be highly destructive. Hey, Mr. B, it can be highly destructive, the ego. So anyway, back to shadow work. I have acknowledged, I think, a lot of things. I ain't gonna say I mastered myself, but a lot of stuff I'm actually able to look at myself and see myself clearly. I'm able to say, May, you're an asshole and mean it. May, you are in certain ways you are an asshole. I can see myself. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to be like, yeah, yeah, you got some assholish ways, or you're selfish. Look at you. A lot of people don't want to see the negative in themselves. They want to see all the positive. But when it comes to that negative shit, they running, honey. They not trying to see nothing. And my whole thing is, do you see evidence of who you say you are? That's shadow work. What evidence is there that you're kind, right? You say you're a kind person. That's what you want to believe about yourself. Now, what evidence is there? Is that a pattern and practice in your life? Is that something that's infused in your system to be kind? Look at yourself. Examine yourself. Do you actually have kindness as a pattern infused into your lifestyle? Okay, because maybe, just maybe, you're not a kind person. You might be a neutral motherfucker, right? But are you actually kind? But we claim all kind of character traits that we don't fucking have because it makes us feel good. And if God forbid somebody attack a character trait that we value, oh, there's a reaction, there's a response, there's a get back, right? So that's all ego. And it's okay. Ego is not going to destroy the world completely anyway. But I have to say, The ability to see oneself and see one's flaws is something to be admired, I think. Okay, there's a big root right here for these. That's one thing I try to do too, is keep track of where the roots are. And these root systems, they root all along the way. So when you water, you can water along the vine. And that means you're watering the plant, especially when they get really long. And see, that's a root. That's a root right there. What you call a main vine, main vine root, primary vine. So yeah, shadow work is important to rightly see oneself. Because then, I mean, whew, but the thing is, are you willing to adjust and change to fix? Most people are not. That's why they just choose not to look at it, because the work it would take to change that, right? If I'm a selfish person and I'm not kind, but I want to be kind and I want to be compassionate, but it's not my nature. People have a nature. It's something they're naturally inclined to do. It doesn't take any effort. Somebody falls down, they're the first one to rush and help the person get up. That's the nature of a person. Um, they have compassion and empathy, and it's like one of the leading traits of their personality, just maybe, right? But also we have what you say public selves, and then we have a private self as well. And so some of the things that people will do in public, now that's isn't that interesting? Some of the things people will do in public, they won't do in private, and vice versa. So you can't be fooled by that perception, because somebody might run to help somebody, right? Because there's people looking. They want to be perceived as chivalrous and helpful, right? And if that person was in their backyard and nobody could see, they'd probably just turn and act like they didn't see the person fall. But when there's an opportunity to shine and be somebody and get some attention, you see what I'm saying? So people have lots of motivation. So don't think that what somebody does in private is necessarily what they would do in public, or vice versa. You know, there's all kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. No, I won't go there. I'm gonna go there. I'll just leave that alone. Just leave it right there, man. Um, but yeah, the shadow self is very interesting, and I decided to lean into my shadow self. And I'm telling you, it's like it's a journey. Ooh, wee, baby, it's an amazing journey to go into your shadow self and say, "This is what I think I am." But let me test this motherfucker right here. Let me see what I'm really made of. Boy, you will be surprised, honey. You don't know who you are until you're tested for certain shit. Okay? Until certain situations and circumstances arise. Let me give you a perfect example, okay? A lot of people, I'm an honest person. I'm an honest person, right? But you have to be willing to observe yourself in full light. And that's the part that most people don't want to do. They just cover that up. Well, that would they make excuses. They do coping. You can't do coping and do shadow work. You can't. You got to look that motherfucker right in his eyes and say, I see you clearly. I see you fully. And I accept what I see. You got to be willing to do that. And if it disgusts you what you see, then you have to change. But you got to be willing to put the effort for it. That's the problem. Some people, they end up seeing too much shit they don't like and they don't want to actually change it. So it's just frustrating to do shadow work. But that's where the acceptance comes from. So I'm gonna give you a perfect example. People think, oh, I'm an honest person. I'm always honest. Let's test that. Are you willing to observe yourself at all times? Oh, I see the bee. He's in the flower. I hate to disturb him. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go on this side. Maybe that won't disturb him. I'll water from over here. I did not know that, y'all. I found out the other day that bees, they sleep in flowers. Isn't that sweet? How could I be this old and not have known that already? That bees sleep inside of flowers. How could I get to this age and not know that shit? It's okay. I'm learning. I'm just gonna not hit his flower so he can keep sleeping. But anyhow, few perfect examples. I think I'm an honest person, right? I'm at the store. I'm not me. Somebody's at the store. Let me give an example. And this person in front of you, you see what I'm talking about? Get tested for that so-called honesty. Person in front of you, they don't drop a wallet. They don't drop a wallet. They're at the counter and they reach in their pocket and they pull out their money and whoop, right there, you're the only person. Nobody else is looking. The cashier ain't paying no attention. This person is face forward. They don't know that when they pull their wallet out, they dropped $100 bill. And you see it as soon as it comes out. That $100 bill. Nobody's looking. Nobody's around. Nobody knows but you. Uh-oh. There's a bird over there eating my fucking berries. Okay, I gotta go pick berries today. He's all in the bush. Oh, hell. It's two of them. Oh, hell. It's three of them. Oh, my God. I'm watching a robbery in live time. Uh-uh. No. Mm-mm. Get your ass from over there. Uh-uh. You see him? Uh-uh. Get. You over here dancing in my damn tree. These berries are ripe. Hmm. Oh, yeah, they didn't pick them. God damn it. Y'all see that? They've been picking at my berries. They didn't ate them. All the red berries gone. You sons of bitches. Hmm. He was working on that branch right there. Hmm. Oh, fuck it. There was too many of them over here. They were dancing and shit. I'm like, what's going on over there? Same bird ate my damn, what you call it, berries. Okay. Fine. Fine. Y'all, these cucumbers are struggling because it's so hot out here. It is so hot out here. The cucumbers are struggling. It's not my, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. I keep watering every day, but it's just, ooh, it's not enough. But I'm going to bring the water hose up here. I'm not watering by. I got two I got two branches of berries left. I'm gonna protect them berries. I'm finna make me a drink out of my damn berries. So them birds need to get the fuck on. I'm not willing to be putting netting and stuff on everything. I think that's corny. But anyway, the shadow self. Back to my original thought. So if a person says that they are um, an honest person, just test that. Can you see yourself rightly? Can you see yourself as you actually are and deal with it? Or do you lie to yourself and cope? So you are at the gas station, and the only person who sees that you that person has dropped that $100 bill is you. Now you can say what you want to say. I would give it back. I would tell them, hey, look at, yeah, sure, sounds good. But in the spontaneous moment, when the situation appears and presents itself, what will you actually do? In a nano, have 1 foot. You have 1 foot in the Jannah, and you have 1 foot in the dunya. What is your natural first instinct? I've been in such situations many times, right? without thinking. Hey, excuse me, sir, you dropped your money. That's me. And if I wasn't that type of person, because I do shadow work, I would just tell you, y'all, I'm a dishonest person. If the situation presents itself, I will take full advantage because I like money more than I like my own character. I would just say it, or at least professing a certain character trait. But I've learned through observing myself in all my various states, just constant observation. I've learned that I am an honest person. Now, I tell you where I'm not honest, and I have a reason. I would say, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta have honesty, right? And I'm being honest right now. I thought about what I just said. I said I'm an honest person. I'm like, wait a minute, May. There's places where you are dishonest. Where is that? And as it relates to money, and I think about it, you know where that place is with the taxes. I'm just saying. I'm gonna leave it there. I have a reason. I have a reason. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there. But I can acknowledge that because I do shadow work. I can acknowledge my places and see myself clearly. But as far as like somebody dropping $100 and I'm the only one who sees it and I know it's their money, they're right there. My first instinct, hey, you dropped your $100. You dropped your money. Hey, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. You dropped your money. That's my first instinct. I don't even have to think about it. You have one foot in the dunya and you have one foot in the Jannah. Okay, and that's with every situation. I don't have that character trait problem of, and that's even judgment. See, there's judgment on that, you know, and that's one thing you got to start doing too. You do shadow work. That's why people are afraid to see what's there because we put judgment on everything. And I'm not saying be amoral. I'm just saying notice that we assign judgment and meaning to everything. Notice that we assign meaning to honesty. We put that on a high scale. Oh, you're an honest person. We have all these character traits that we assign goodness to. And most people hide in the lie of being most of those positive traits and they run away from the other thing. But when you start just saying, let all things be equal and let me just observe and see who I actually am and what traits I exhibit, it's easier to do shadow work. And I'm not saying you need to stay in that state, but just resist at least for a little while, passing judgment on everything you do so you can see yourself more clearly. Okay? But there are a lot of people that would say, oh, I'm an honest person. But when they're presented with a situation like that, where it's a chance to show to yourself, not to the world, and like I said, the public self and the private self is different. You have people that they will not, if they're alone, nobody knows, they won't take that $100. They won't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna put my foot on this. Wait till this person walk away, then I'm gonna put it in my pocket." That's their first instinct. Now, if somebody's looking, they're gonna do something different. That's why I said you got to be careful because you got the private and the public self. People, when they're being observed, they may do different shit than they would if they're not being observed, and that's where you really find out who the whole fuck you are. Okay. And I had to do a lot of shadow work. And shadow work is not always about morality. It's about who are you and what will you do. Do you know yourself for real, for real? Have you been tested? If you are presented with certain things, what will you do? You know? And for somebody like me, I'm kind of a clear slate. I've had a lot of opportunities. I mean, I haven't had a lot of opportunities to be presented with a lot of stuff just growing up. This is where innocence come in, because there are children who grow up in an environment and they're presented with a lot of stuff as a young person, and they either fall into it or they don't, because of your environment. You're overexposed. I have a lot of things I had not had a chance to test. So as an adult, I had to test and find out, well, what would I do? Who am I actually? And I talked about the other time when I was in Haiti having a good time, and this really, really, it's a lot of wealthy people that came, but this dude was a billionaire. People, say, oh my God, they're billionaires. I don't give a fuck because it was like an open party, people going room to room. And the guy came, and he was almost like the damn devil. He was a Swedish guy, I believe, Sweden, and he had his black girlfriend, Haitian lady, with him, or at least his woman, who's when he's in Haiti or whatever, and offered me, like a tray of cocaine. Never in my life have I done drugs. I was drunk. I was having the time of my life. It was a raucous event. Oh, it was so sexually charged. It was some of the wildest shit. And they had all the voodoo energy and all the voodoo people doing the voodoo music. It was wild at this hotel. I mean, it was a wild. And if there was a point where I had my foot in the dunya and one foot in the Jannah, and there was that moment. And even though I was drunk, I was having a blast. You know, some people don't even think about it. They just like, oh, this cool person's offering me an opportunity. Let me just do it. Let me just roll in with. Let's see. I'm feeling myself. No, I sobered up real fucking quick when I saw them lines of cocaine, and I was just like, okay, y'all, this party in my room, everybody out. Fucking party's over. Get out of here. Y'all go somewhere else with that shit. I got tested. Like I said, some people, I know now who I am when it comes to hardcore drugs. You can say what you want to say. Understand what I'm saying? You can say what you want to say about yourself. You can assume what the fuck you want to assume. I would never do drugs. People say that shit all the time. You don't know yourself. You don't know yourself until you're tested. There's one foot in the dunya and there's one foot in the Jannah. Until you are tested and you have before you the opportunity to take the left or the right path. You don't fucking know. That's shadow work. That's shadow work. And you ain't running around here like, would I jump in front of a car? You're not on some kind of like kill yourself mission, but you are ready to observe yourself in your true and honest light at all times, to observe and examine yourself objectively. Don't hide in your ego. Don't pretend and don't cope. Just see who you actually are. And so I do shadow work. I do deep observation of myself, right? And I claim my shit. I've learned to just claim my shit. I've learned to do that. Bitch, this is who you are. Stop it. Fucking stop it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these traits that people want to lean on and claim, they're not fucking tested. Let me just say that. You assuming shit about yourself because it makes you feel good, but you ain't tested. I know for a fact, if I am presented under the best and most favorable circumstances with hard drugs, that I will bolt, get the fuck on, shut down anybody and everybody around me who's doing it. I do not want to be around it. Does that make me good or does that make me bad? Nope. It just tells me who I am. I'm tested. I know who I am. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be tested. Now, the question is, for example, and I'm not doing a moral thing. This is not morals. It's just you. A lot of times, what do people in a relationship? I'm a loyal person, and that's what your vows are based on, right? If you're in a relationship, I'm a loyal person. I never cheat. Now, we're not doing a morality test here. We're just saying for you and yourself. There are some people who will say this, I never tell my wife, but I'm a fucking cheater. I know I'm a cheater. They can be honest about it. I'm going to cheat. If I got the opportunity, I'm going to cheat. Right? They know their self. They acknowledge their self. They're honest with themselves. But you got people who literally, they lie to their self. I'm not cheating, though. In their own head, I'm not cheating. Yes, the fuck you are. People can see you cheating. You can see you cheating. You're doing it. You're hiding. You can do all of that, and then you still literally tell yourself like some kind of mind fuck, I'm not cheating. I'm a loyal person. Man, the levels of people will lie to themselves. That shit is crazy. As a person who does shadow work, that's why I find gaslighting and I find mind control and people who follow blindly. I find that shit absolutely amazing. The shit the mind does. Okay, people will literally rock themselves into a non-reality, like literally, and they're comfortable with it. There's no part of them that's resisting that. You know what I'm saying? There's no part of them that's saying, you know what, that's just not true. I'm lying to myself. No, they lean into it. They love it. They need it. Like their survival depends on it. Their ego cannot exist without the lies that they tell themselves. Look at that. We got two fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have. Oh wow, these motherfuckers want to do what they want to do. I got three watermelons. Oh God, what am I gonna do with these? I really was not trying to grow these. I wanted them to stay in here, but they want to do what they supposed to do. Okay, so we're gonna have to plant this shit. They're gonna have to get planted. All right. So now we have the bell peppers, the bell peppers. Where are my peppers? I got Anaheim peppers. They're doing so well once they come out the small pots. The question is, where the fuck am I put them? Because I don't got no more land. I got to. Do I need to create some more land? Where can I create some more land? Shit. Hmm. Where can I create some more land? Let me think about it. Hmm. Where else can I put it? Because I got to think about my landscapers. How these motherfuckers like to they like to mow down every goddamn thing. Where could I put these fucking peppers? Hmm. 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 I'm gonna have to wake my husband up. He's gonna have to come out here and help me. He's gonna have to help me. I already put peppers in here. I got 8 of them. I'm thinking about snatching that fucking zucchini out because it ain't producing nothing. I don't know what that's about. I got one big fat zucchini and I ain't seen another one since. That's not what I expected. I done got like 12 butternut squash. Where can I put these peppers? Hmm. I could possibly put them over there. That's an option. Let me see. I could possibly put them over here. Look at this shit. What the hell is this? I do not. I'm gonna have to read. What are these balls? It's a tea plant. It's got all these damn balls on it. Okay, y'all. I don't know. All right, let me go because I'm gonna have to start working hard, and I can't work hard with these damn with this damn I can't work hard with these. I got stuff to pick, and I got stuff to replant, and I can do it fast. I gotta fight the sun. Well, not fight the sun. Chase. No, what is it? Race against the sun. Race against the sun. Because I'm not gonna get hot out here. Okay, Ashay. Y'all have a good day.